Good morning, friends. Welcome to that 1870s Homestead. My name's Rachel, and today I have a lot of Christmas baking to do. And some of the recipes I've shared with you on the channel before, some I haven't. So I'm going to share the recipe specifically in the video today for the new thing I'm making that I don't think I've ever done a video on. But I'm going to start with cinnamon rolls, and I have a recipe on my absolute favorite. And I will tell you, we're not going to start with that. I've had so many people make it and comment like how amazing they are. It's basically a copycat Cinnabon, if you like that kind of cinnamon roll, which is my absolute favorite. Ooey gooey in the center, thick, fluffy. So that was a cup of milk. But anyway, I'm going to link to that video so you guys have the actual recipe. But what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm making these cinnamon rolls just a little extra special to take one to a holiday gathering I'm going to tonight. And then my daughter's coming home from the Navy on Tuesday morning. Yay! So she'll have something special when she comes home. So we're just putting in our liquid ingredients. That was milk, butter, water. And I'm going to be adding in 3 small packages of instant vanilla pudding. These are small, so they're like 1 ounce each. You need like 3 to 3 1/4 ounces. And one more. And sometimes I don't have this on hand. I just went to Aldi's earlier today to do some holiday shopping. And I do have a mason jar of instant pudding mix. So there is recipes online that if you just don't want to go to the store or you want to make this today, you can make instant pudding mix basically as a dry mix and store it and just use that. So I'll try to find a link to how to make that, and Todd will maybe, and put it in the comments below. And a big tablespoon of sugar, and then we're going to add our flour. That's 4 cups. I have made my cookie dough, cut out cookie. Oh, come on, lighten back up. Where'd you go? It got really dark all of a sudden. Okay, and then a little bit of salt, and then we'll put in our yeast. And then I'm going to be able to get this going. I love using bread machines for all my doughs, whether it's French bread, cinnamon rolls, my weekly, I'll do a little bit more. Okay. My weekly bread making, because it allows me to just go do other things and not have to knead it by hand. All right, so that's going. Let's head over and get our sugar cookies cut out and baking while we mix the new recipe. Okay, I did get 1 tray already done, not cooked, but cut out, because I don't need to bore you with cutting out 100 cut out cookies. But I made this dough up yesterday, and I just wrap it in saran wrap in like half portions. So I made 2 batches of the recipe that I'll link to below. It's our family's traditional Christmas cookie. It doesn't puff up. It stays nice and flat. I roll mine out probably between, I don't know, 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, somewhere around there. And it keeps like nice sharp edges from your cookie cutters. But I want to share with you a couple tricks. So do your cookie dough day before or whatever, put it in the fridge, pull it out at least 30 minutes beforehand, because it is a pretty hard cookie dough, and let it kind of warm up on your counter before you attempt to roll it out. And then make sure you chill it again before you bake it. So we'll make sure that they don't spread. Which is very important to us in this house, because we annually have a cookie decorating competition, and it's a very serious business around here, the cookies. So I think that's good. I'm just gonna finished cutting these out, but I wanted to give you guys some more ideas because I like to do a big array of treats, whether it's platter styles to give away, platters to take to gatherings, or even just having here in the home as guests are coming in and out of the house. I can refill it, people snack on it, all kinds of things. One of the new things I added this year, which was so super easy, and it's absolutely delicious, and I get why they say it's addicting. I can't believe I've never made it before, but is that gonna show up? Yep. It's the stuff that they call like Chex Mix, Christmas Chex Mix, or Christmas crack is like a term that they use. And I went ahead and put some in a couple jars because I'm gonna take these tonight to add to gift baskets. But this will store really well, and it was so easy to make, guys. It's like, you can use whatever you want. I think the recipe generically just calls for like rice Chex, but I did rice Chex, pretzels, Cheerios, nuts, M&Ms. Anyway, you just have a whole bunch of stuff, like 8 or 12 cups. Look it up, the recipe. Christmas Chex Mix, I think, is the recipe I followed. And then you take white chocolate or almond bark and you melt that and pour it over and toss it. And with because my nuts were salted, so with the salt from the nuts, with the sweet from the chocolate, it is so, so good. So I'm excited to have that. I'll keep sharing some of the other things, like more like quick toss-togethers, not homemade stuff, in case you don't have time to do like these homemade things, but you want something that you can easily make for the holidays, for adding to gift baskets or for guests as they come over. So this is one. I've got 2 more that I'll share with you through today. I'm gonna just finish cutting these out. We're gonna get these baking, and I promise you guys, I don't know if you guys can see this whole pile of mess over here, but that is for the next traditional family Christmas recipe that I'll share with you guys this year. I don't think I've ever shared it, and it's a pretty easy one. All right, I'm just gonna get that oven heating. The other batch of cookies is on the front porch chilling. That's the great benefit of living up north. I mean, there's lots of benefits of living up north, but if you're gonna have to deal with super cold temperatures, it's great that I always have an outdoor refrigerator or freezer when I need it. So like big holidays, you're doing like prep before a dinner, and you don't have room in your refrigerator, I use my front porch for that all the time. Things like today, sitting that out. But I promised you guys on the last video that I did with you, I was going to share with you some Christmas decorations around the house, and I forgot. So here's one. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to hide my face so you guys can see it. So pretty. It's just rose hips and some little cedar boughs and a big Scotch pine bough. I just love it. And that sits on this island. But not today because I'm busy. I'll try to remember to show you a couple others. But in the absence of that, I have been sharing quite a few over on Instagram. All right, let's get going on this recipe. So it is often referred to as magic bars, oat candy bars, something like that. So we got quick oats, baking soda, brown sugar, chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, chopped pecans, M&Ms, sweetened condensed milk, and butter. And maybe I need salt, I don't remember. But let's get going with this. So I'm just gonna not completely melt my butter, but I'm at least gonna get it kind of softened. It's already softened, but easily workable. So I'm gonna pop mine in the microwave for like 20 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna go in with 2 cups of oats. Oh, pretzels, I'm gonna throw some pretzels in mine. And this, very similarly to that Chex Mix, you can really make it your own way. I made a batch the other day just to try out the recipe of doing it completely gluten-free. Which I know oats you can easily buy gluten-free, but I didn't have any in the house, so I used rice Chex Mix. It worked. Not as hearty of a crust, I guess. So I'm just gonna crunch up some pretzel bits in it. These are just pretzel sticks, probably like half a cup. So 2 cups of oats, half a cup of pretzel bits. 1.5 cups of flour. Thought I had everything out. I did not. Okay, and we're gonna go in with a cup of packed brown sugar. Here's my cup. Do you guys have traditional Christmas recipes that you always make? I know up here in Michigan anyway, I don't remember ever having them till I moved up north, are the Buckeyes, the peanut butter chocolate balls. We've never made them, but we usually get gifted them, so I really enjoy those. Growing up, my mom always made, and I think for the first time this year I'm going to try it. It's in her recipe book. It's called a cherry candy cane pound cake. But you basically make like a bread dough. I wouldn't call it a pound cake at all. It's like a sweet bread dough, kind of like a cinnamon roll dough basically. And then you stuff it with apricots and maraschino cherries. And then you form it like a candy cane and you kind of cut slits in it so the cherries and apricots show. And she always decorated it with some of those like green candied cherries and the red candied cherries. And it was one of my absolute favorite things. It's I think it's like a very almond based flavored recipe, but I'm gonna try that one this year. If you're interested in it, let me know in the comments and I'll share it. So that was a cup of packed brown sugar. We need a cup of pecans. I'll show you guys. I broke my modern day pecan nut chopper, and I found this at an antique store and it works amazing. I think it works better than the hand cranker one like I had. So we're gonna go in with a cup. Okay. And I'll show you kind of some of how it's created. So it has measurements on it, number 1, plus it has a wooden base at the bottom just to prevent you from breaking the glass. And then this little doohickey, when you push it, it kind of spins around and the really sharp blades chop the nuts. I think it's amazing. Sometimes they made things better in the old days than they do nowadays. Alrighty, a half a teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So yes, I did need salt. And I like this recipe because it's one of those that you can just dump in everything in the bowl and mix it together. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, everything I need. So I always remember it's 6 ingredients, dump in the bowl, then mix it together. And so I'll get this mixed and won't bore you with that, but we'll come back for the preparation part. Lordy mercy. Okay, I am back. So all I've done is I had, this is probably like a, I don't know, 10 by 13 or so pan. You can use anything really. You can use like it just depends. Do you want it thick? Do you want it thin? 15 by 18 jelly roll style pan, or even 9 by 13 and make it thicker. But this is all I've got. So that's what we're going with. It's what I always use. So I'm just putting this crumb mixture, basically the crust, in the bottom of the pan. And pressing it down nice and firmly. It smells so good. Oh, just yummy, yummy. And I was saying, like, this is one of those recipes where you can make it your own, totally based off what your family likes. And I'm doing even a little bit of that today from what's written down in my cookbook, because we really like coconut in ours. Now we have one son who's allergic to nuts, coconuts, all kinds of things. And I'll just make sure he knows not to eat these ones. And then I have a daughter who is gluten-free, so that's why I was testing out that gluten-free recipe to say, can I still make this where kids that have food sensitivities like it? And so I will make another batch of that because Todd and I have basically eaten them all. Alrighty, so what's written in my recipe book says 1.5 cups of M&Ms. This is all the M&Ms I have left, basically half a cup from making all the other things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably go in with half a cup of butterscotch chips, half a cup of chocolate chips, and I'll tell you what to do with those in just a second because we're not going to pour those on right now. There's butterscotch. I was trying to clean up before it takes and put the wrong things away. And then we'll go in with a half a cup of chocolate chips. And then you're gonna melt those in the microwave. So, how long did I say? Like 30 seconds? What did I say? Of course I didn't tell myself. I'm probably gonna go in at 30 seconds, do every 30 seconds. And then you're gonna stir into that 1 full can of condensed milk. So you can get that ready. Okay, yes, what I was gonna say, make it your own way. Besides not having enough M&Ms, I was mentioning I wanted to put coconut on it. So I'm just gonna sprinkle, I don't know, half a cup or so of coconut. And this is sweetened coconut flakes over the crust. That's probably gonna be good enough. They're like not completely melted. Can you guys see that? And if you're using all M&Ms, basically all you need to do is smash them. So there we go. Still got some chunks, which is good because that's what I want. And now mix in our milk and condensed milk is another absolutely amazing childhood memory of my mom cooking at the holidays and me begging for either the lid or the can to lick. I just love it. All right, I'm gonna mix in all that yumminess. And then we're pouring this over our crust. I think I got it good and mixed. Can you guys see this? Yep. Then we're gonna do our best to spread it out. Do you guys give gifts to your neighbors at the holidays? We do. And I would encourage you to do it because sometimes nowadays it's hard to take time to be neighborly in the world that we live in, and Christmas is a great time to just appreciate your neighbors, even if you really never speak, just to appreciate somebody's always, whether they're being nosy and watching your house or whether they're genuine friends, somebody's always there, and developing those relationships is important. We've developed some great relationships with our neighbors. We know that if we go out of town, they're watching over us. If they go out of town, we're watching over them. And it's just a nice way to say that you appreciate them. Alrighty, so that is in there. And then sprinkle over chocolate mixture. Okay. Now I'm rereading my recipe. I could have saved some of this crumble mix and sprinkled it on top, but I don't like it that way personally anymore. So what I'm doing is sprinkling some more coconut on top. and that'll toast up nicely while it's baking. Alrighty. And now we're gonna bake this at 350 for 18 to 20 minutes. And when this is done, my cookies will be nice and chilled outside and I can start baking those. Okay, so I didn't forget the M&Ms. We're just gonna put those on last when it comes out of the oven. I'll show you guys, I'll sprinkle those on. We'll push them down just so that they take hold. And then that'll give it that Christmas pop of color. And then you have to let them completely cool and cut them into whatever size little squares or bars that you want to dole out. But I wanted to share you our other family tradition. I've never done a recipe on this either, I don't believe, but we refer to it growing up, and I grew up down in Louisiana, Texas, called it trash. It's basically a very heavily seasoned Chex Mix. So ours is quite spicy. It's like a butter, I think a full cup of butter. You use Worcestershire sauce, but I use liquid aminos in mine. Cayenne, celery, salt, garlic salt, all seasoning like Lowry's, all seasoning salt, Tabasco, so you get the picture. It's really great flavor though, and you bake it low and slow for an hour, tossing it every 15 minutes. And then when you take it out of the oven, spread it over a like dishcloth towel or paper towels, and get some of that extra grease off of it so it stores really well. And this kind of just sits out in tin cans and it's a snackable, but also great giftable too, or shareable when you go to parties. So this will store for a long, long time, and just on the counter easily. So something my mom made every single year growing up. We had our trash and we made trash every Thanksgiving and Christmas. I only typically do it at Christmas now. So I will see you guys back. I forgot to set my timer. I'll see you guys back when we pull those out. We'll top them with the M&Ms. By then, it's probably gonna be ready for the cinnamon roll making. Okay, they are done. So let me grab them out of the oven. Ooh. Doesn't that look yummy? And the nice thing about having the parchment paper is once they're cool, I can just lift this out to cut them. But oh, yummy. All right, so I'm going to sprinkle on just a handful of M&Ms, and they'll set in that hot, yummy topping. Let's give them a little pat in. I'm not pushing too hard, just patting so that they hold in the topping and don't fall off when I'm cutting into them. Alrighty, and then I decided to sprinkle on some fun sprinkles. We'll do the same with those, give them a nice little pat in. Okay, and then a little bit more coconut, make it look like snow. And this is some of the kids' absolute favorites. They go super fast, and it's one of Todd's favorites. Everybody likes them. They are super, super sweet, let me tell you.
What is it?
Magic bars.
Oh, more?
Yeah, well, the last recipe was just a taste test for a gluten-free recipe for Emily.
Oh, these are like the real
The real
ones?
deal.
Nice. Looks great.
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna let these cool. Before the video is done, I'll at least cut into the bars so you can see what they look like. All right, but I need to get these out of my way because what else are we making? Oh, the cinnamon roll dough is just about done. Alrighty, we're gonna get as much done of this as we can right now. I got the first batch of cutout cookies going. So here's our yummy dough. Smells so good. All right. And I went ahead off camera and mixed up one of you lovely subscribers' genius idea. Instead of struggling spreading your butter on your dough, because sometimes it's just not quite soft enough, to mix your butter, cinnamon, sugar, and then I use brown sugar in my cinnamon. So mix my butter, my cinnamon, and my sugar all together, and then you just spread that. Genius idea, by the way. Thank you for sharing that tip with me because I do it now. And I will link to this, I think I call it my 10-minute or 5-minute cinnamon roll recipe because honestly, you saw how fast it is. The hands-on time is like nothing. And then you're rolling it to a 17-inch by 10-inch rectangle. All right, there's our first batch. Ooh, do not overcook your cutouts. So look, those kind of basically still look raw, right? I'm gonna set these outside to cool. I'll be right back. And the last batch is going in. Alrighty, so we're at about 1 inch down here and 18 inches up there, so I've got the right dimensions lengthwise. It's not gonna be perfect, but do your best to get kind of a rectangle-ish. Can you guys even see? No, not really. All right, I'll bring you guys down where you can see a little bit better. Alrighty, now I'm going to plop on my cinnamon sugar butter mixture. We'll spread that out. Oh, sorry guys. Through the magic of television, that is done and spreaded. Do you remember when they used to say that when you would watch cooking videos or cooking TV shows? And they'd pull something out of the oven and it was, wait, how did that happen? Okay, so it's all spread out. What I was started to say, and then the camera cut off, is you need to roll your cinnamon dough tightly. So I'm not necessarily pulling on it, but I'm tucking it and just doing small rolls tightly. If you don't do that, when your cinnamon rolls are rising, they're gonna wanna open up. Versus staying tightly together. And we don't want that to happen. So my grandson is here. I'm trying to get this done before Granny's gotta be off the video. Okay. So we're rolling, rolling, rolling. And you can pull this out as you go. So you got a nice. All right, those other cookies are done too. We're just rocking and rolling over here, getting everything done while we go. Now, like I said, I'm gonna do something fun with these cinnamon rolls for the purposes of what I want to do today. Let me grab those out. Okay, next step, I'm gonna pull my seams down and just kind of close it off and tuck it under. You guys see that? So just pulled it, tucked it under. I'm gonna pinch all those seams off. And then this one, pull it. Can you guys see that? Yep, pull it, tuck it under. All right, now I'm going to just give it a roll. I'm gonna roll it just a little longer than the cinnamon roll says. Try to get it as even as I can. We're making a cinnamon roll candy cane. I've never done this before, but we're gonna see how it goes. All right, how does that look? All right, so in order to let this rise, I need to get this now on a pan. And I'm going to stick a cup of some kind in here to hold that form. Okay, so that's gonna be my trick, I think, is I'm going to just use some of my silicone baking molds. And I might put some water or something in here to help hold the form.
And then I need to let this rise proof. So I'm just gonna set it on my oven, cover it with a damp cloth. And then we're gonna decorate it really cute for the party tonight. So I'll be back when it's risen. We'll pop it in the oven and then we'll be back for decorating it.
All right, excuse this mess because we're doing icing right now, but I wanted to show you guys how I'm trying to be clever to keep my candy cane shape. So it's pretty much risen. I've rolled a couple placemats to stick on this side because it was starting to spread too much. We have a placemat folded there with some hot pads in it and a placemat kind of, we'll see if this works, if we can't retain our candy cane shape. But it's going in the oven, 350, 30 minutes. Okay, friends, it has been a day. Let me get this out. Sorry for the crinkly noise, but look how nice it pops out. I set it cooling on the front porch. We're gonna cut into it. Looks delicious, but oh my goodness. Look how darling these cookies came out. Oh, don't break. See, it dropped in the icing. Doesn't even mess up. It dropped like right on the icing. Maybe one little dent. And my little cardinal's so pretty. And then we got our snowflake. So beautiful. And our snowy topped Christmas tree. But I only iced, like finished icing enough that I need for the party tonight. So I'm gonna cut into these. Oh. And I promised I would show you guys. Okay, maybe it's a little colder outside than I thought. Show you what they look like inside. Go, 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 you can do it. You know, my favorite cutting tool for bars is a pastry bench scraper, but mine's in the dishwasher right now. So that is them. Let me get my face out of the way so it'll focus. Yummy. I'll bite into one so you can tell. Ooey gooey caramel on top. Oh my goodness, if you guys have not made these, I think I am gonna get my pastry cutter out. It's just a whole lot easier to cut. And I'll do about 2 by 2, maybe 2 by 1.5 inch squares and cut it out. And I've decided to stay till the end because I'm gonna go ahead and plate up like a plate. No single platter I make is ever the same when I go somewhere. So today's highlight of the platter will be our candy cane cinnamon roll. Didn't quite turn out exactly right, but we can pretty it up. But first I need to make the icing for that. So I'm gonna whip that up. That's also in the cinnamon roll video. So I'm not gonna go into the details. I just need to get going because I still need to prepare gift packages and all that kind of stuff. And my kitchen is a hot mess. So I'll be back as soon as we get ready to turn our cinnamon roll into some sort of candy cane. Okay, no laughing, no judging. It didn't turn out perfect, but I should have caught it before it started spreading, you know, and I didn't catch it in time. Maybe I'll invest someday in like a candy cane shaped pan. And that will solve all the problems trying to figure this out. And we're just gonna ice it with our icing. It's gonna look so good. And then we're gonna fill in all around the platter around our candy cane cinnamon roll. Thought that counts, right? Have fun. It's all about having fun and spreading cheer. Alrighty, we're gonna call that good. And then I'm just going to gently use my sprinkles and make some stripes. Well, I'm tickled. I think it looks great. I'm just kind of trying to get those sprinkles off the platter. Oh my goodness. How great is that? So stinking cute. All right, let's fill up this platter with all of our goodies. Forgot to show you guys these ones. They're just your general old Rice Krispie treats with a little special touch with some Christmas sprinkles on. We'll stick some of those in here. Sprinkle in some of our Christmas crack. Put in some of our magic bars. And go get our cutouts. How cute is that? I'm gonna change him. All right. Who wouldn't want to dig into that, huh? Just a little height. Alrighty, guys. How fun and festive. Come on now. Merry Christmas, everyone.